There's a saying, no? If you tell your goal, people should be scared. If not, it is not a goal. From every industry, everybody is dreaming big, and collectively, we'll be able to build a better Indian industry, is what I feel. I've seen a lot of interviews these days. People keep telling some stories. I'm like, what? When did this happen? It's like he had not had food for 5 days. I saw him, then I gave him food. Once somebody even told I had not taken bath for 5 days. I'm like, there was a time when Karnataka had 7 cricketers in Indian team. I would like to see that happening for Indian industry. Every director from industry, every actor from my industry should be a pan-India star. My movie should be like a roller coaster ride. You come prepared, fasten your seat belt.
Hello, Bengaluru. Listen, I have to tell you guys, first of all, all of us at Film Companion are absolutely thrilled to be celebrating the 2nd anniversary of the Front Row here with you in Bengaluru. I can already tell you're a terrific audience and also with a terrific guest. But before I call him out on stage, I want to tell you a very, very quick short story about him. So I first met Yash in July of 2018. I came here to do a show. I used to do a show for Audible. I came here to do an interview with him. Obviously didn't know him at all. That was our first meeting. We had hired a studio in Indiranagar, and literally, as soon as he walked in, 3 minutes later, the electricity went. Okay, so now I have the guest and no electricity, so obviously we cannot record anything. So Yash made a couple of calls, and 2 men showed up very quickly, but it was some complicated problem. They had to go up on the light pole. It took 2 hours, guys, to fix that electricity. I panicked because, you know, we had to take a flight back that evening. We did not have budgets to stay overnight. We didn't have budgets to fly back into Bangalore. He was the Zen master. He did not throw any tantrums. He did not look irritated in the least. He just sat there for 2 hours. And then when the electricity came back on, he did the interview. He was charming. He was wonderful, which is why I say that Yash is a class act. So, put your hands together for the one and only rocking star Yash.
Good to see you. Oh.
Thank you. Yash, will they let us talk or no? Okay, guys.
ಹೆದರಿಸ್ಬೇಡಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ, ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರೋ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I'm asking them not to scare you.
You're asking them, no? Thank you. Thank you.
I love you too.
So I feel like I'm not needed here. You could just sit here and they will just scream. So folks, I'm a film critic. My job is to look at films, not so much at box office, but this man doesn't give me a choice. Right? What a year you've had. What a year. 1,250 crores box office for KGF 2 global grosser. Okay? Guys, 54 crores Only the Hindi version opening, which is a record in Bollywood that has not been broken. Yash, you know, you... Yeah, I'm going to need some crowd control from you.
Sorry.
You're going to have to help with the crowd control.
Yes. Solpotto.
So, Yash, you and that film have been instrumental in bringing audiences back to the theaters this year. Why do you think Rocky Bhai connected so strongly just across the world?
See, generally what happens is, in a previous interview also I think we discussed about this. So the issues what masses have, or they need some kind of inspiration. They need somebody to motivate them. So that may not come from books, or they may not attend some personality development course. Cinema is one such medium. I know it's about action, gangster, all of that, but deep down, that's about one common man who's got a lot of difficulties, and nothing is easy or ideal situation for him. But he surpasses all the difficulties in style, with conviction, and he goes and he achieves it. That is something which everybody today wants to do or connect, because we need to give them confidence. Most of the people, they are like crushed in the beginning. The way society tells you that this is how, if I have to speak about my industry, this is how a star should be. This is how he should look. This is what, these are the type of clothes he should have. So there is some set rules where society is unknowingly pushing it on youngsters or today's generation. So they're confused, including me. I was confused. So the moment you realize it's all within you, and if you decide, nothing can stop you, and everything will change, you can change. Change doesn't happen on its own. You have to take action. So if they realize that, then they will definitely get inspired. Rocky did that to them, and I think there is Rocky in everybody is what I feel.
One of my favorite scenes in the film is early on. You get down from the helicopter, you put yourself at the head of the table where all the other bad guys have gathered, right? And then you drop that killer line about nepotism, which I just loved. And then you say, I've got here on merit, right? Rocky Bhai is saying, I've got here on merit. And a little later in that scene, you say that you can't create another Rocky Bhai to kill me because there's one and only piece. Right? Now that Yash is also you, right? You are here on merit. You are a single piece. I want to talk to you about this conviction, okay? Because you go back to it in your conversation a lot. What does conviction mean on a day-to-day basis? How do you have, like, what do you do? On a day-to-day basis, you wake up and do what to have that belief?
I think to answer your first portion, when we put that nepotism, that was not, there was no such development in the industry. That was shot much before lockdown and all of that. So the idea was, it's a burning issue. So it doesn't mean that people who have come from film background or film family, it's not against them. Nepotism, according to me, is not about some actor's son or some producer's son coming into industry. It's not about that. It's about them trying to put others down, acting as if they are blue blood or they are royalty. That is wrong. So that's there in most of the fields. It's not just cinema. But cinema, it's visible and people talk about it, criticize, and it's like little vulnerable industry. If not everywhere, that is there. But if as a country or as a society, if we have to evolve or go to next level, we should encourage talent, we should encourage merit. So the idea was, even in gangsters, even in underworld, if you are talking about nepotism, that was a confusion. When I just, we were discussing. I said, this is the best time to tell him nepotism. Here also. So everybody's like, isn't it too high a word? Will people understand? I don't know. Then that became like a big thing everywhere. Everybody started discussing. So then most of the people understood. But the point is not to put anybody down from the industry. It's to inspire any individual. For me, from the beginning, all I had is confidence and vision. And when I look at people who are trying to intimidate you with power or with just the background, if you do it, good, we respect you. But at the same time, because somebody has done it in your family or that, we give you love, we respect you. When you mutually respect everybody, that's fine in any industry. But don't use it as a weapon to intimidate others. So somebody like me, I think it's most of the people's issue and they have it in them. Somebody like me, if I represent, then that's when the CT comes. And on a daily basis, I think all of us go through that. I'm not somebody who's like 24/7 confident, or I'm not somebody, but most of the time I am.
Really?
Because I don't think about what to lose, or it's about you. You be yourself, and the whole world will sense it. If you try to act, if you try to pretend, or if you try to impress someone, that's when you lose respect. If you be yourself, and if you don't care about, not with arrogance, if you don't care about what others are thinking about you, judging you, then everybody will like you if you're real and if you have that confidence. And I think it's a constant process. I get inspired by looking at a lot of other fellow actors, or competition is something which I feel it is very important in the industry. I always been telling about it. It's not just about one individual. So I always tell KGF was not to intimidate. It is, the vision of KGF was to inspire. That I wanted everybody to believe that anybody can go out and achieve. It's not like we are not inferior, or it's not like an impossible task. I always believe everybody comes to this world as a baby. I've never seen or come across any story where somebody has come with all might and power. So they all develop it. So if they can, even we can. That's about it. You keep motivating yourself. Set a goal. That's what I believe. You set a goal, and then take actions, what it requires and what kind of people you have to associate, and then just keep going. Don't care about rest of the things. Success and failure is like, it's not, trust me when I say this, even after this success, it's not success which gives us happiness. It's about the journey. When you see that, when nobody else is even thinking of it, or if they can't imagine, but you are seeing it absolutely with such clarity that it's as if it's there waiting for you, that's the fun part. So set a high goal. Set a goal which should look like, there's a saying, no? If you tell your goal, people should be scared. If not, it is not a goal. Buying a house, buying a car, or settling down, having a good family is not a goal. That's basic. We will end up set high goals. Then I think individually everybody can, if everybody starts thinking like that, many things can happen for this country. Because we just talk about our country was great back then, our civilization was like that. So I can go on and on about this topic because that changed my life. Belief system changed my life.
You know what intrigues me, Yash, is that after this massive blockbuster, you didn't give 30 interviews, okay? You didn't post creatives talking about box office here, opening there. You, in fact, didn't give any interviews. You just went quiet, which is a very unique way to approach stardom. Why have you chosen this?
I think that's how an actor should be or a star should be, because we are the channel for the dream world. I'm like the bridge. They need to pass through us when they see some actors or some stories, they listen to stories. Through those characters, through us, they travel. If it is too much about me, and if they know everything about me, I don't know where they will be able to relate to those characters. So for me, I think it's my job, one. Second, and I don't believe in going out and talking about, this is saying, if you're a king, if you're telling you're a king, then you're not a king. So anybody who has success or doing really great in life, I don't think they have to go out and show that they're successful or doing it. People will know it. I know my audience or my fans, all of them are really smart. We are trying to cope up because they consume a lot of content, they understand the world better. So if I think I am smart and I'm trying to project something, they will read it. Okay, this guy is doing this because he wants to show he's bigger than that actor or this actor. So you better be real, and they will sense it, and they will tell the whole world. I think it's nice when it comes from people.
Yeah. You and Prashanth Neel, spent 8 years in that KGF world from inception to the release of KGF 2. So I asked Prashanth. How did you change as a human being and as an actor in those 8 years? And I want us to listen to what he said. Can we play it, please?
I thought a lot about what you had asked me about his evolution for those 8 years. And the answer to that is not one bit. I think all great actors are blessed and born with a conviction. And Yash is no exception to that. He just woke up one morning and became a Rocky. Like he did with all his characters, I suppose. In fact, we joked many times that he shouldn't get an actor's fee for KGF because of how little he had to work on playing himself on screen. So I didn't see the evolution of him as an actor or he having to try to be a better actor. He always was that, a great actor. And as a person, I think he was already battle ready for something like this. If you looked hard, you could see his past in his eyes, the failures and victories in equal measure. He was probably prepared for this more than the rest of us. So how about the situation? He would always look like Clint Eastwood in a gunfight. Nothing ever bothered him. It's almost like he could see the future. Look, with the kind of pressure we were under, always on the edge, irritable, volatile, we would always look to burn bridges with everyone. And he was the only one who would look to build them back. He was who he was before he came to KGF, and you should ask him his evolution up until then. Sorry, couldn't contribute much, madam, but thank you for asking.
Clint Eastwood at a gunfight. That's who he describes you as. Is this true, Yash? Were you battle ready when you walked into KGF?
No, firstly, it was really sweet, Prashanth, as always. All this happened because a director or a technician, if they love you and if they have that respect towards you and they really want to show you like the best projection or better than the rest of the people, is when KGF happens. So I have to thank all my technicians, especially Prashanth, because I never in these 8 years felt that even for a moment he was insecure, or because I'm somebody, our process is different. I get involved, we discuss. That's why we could make KGF. It was so healthy, so sportive, and he's the most sensible guy I've ever met. So he's one among the best brains. So such a wonderful person. So that is very important. He can call me whatever, we have that mutual. I always tell him, or rather I told him that, you should go and direct films in such a way that even Western actors should be there, or we should take our industry to next level. When I say our industry, no, Indian industry. That's what I have to tell before about Kannada industry. He's got that potential. And when you say battle ready, I think I really wanted this, badly wanted this. It's see, it's for them. I've realized one thing. It's not about us, audience or public, generation. They will wait for one such person because they will have something saying, okay, why can't this happen? And if you go out there and stand with confidence, and if you're working hard towards it, and if they see it in you, they will give you that responsibility and they will lift you. I don't think whatever I've done in my life is like the best work, but the result what they have given is always beyond what I deserve, including KGF. If you see the numbers, it's not, it's close to miracle in most sense, because a Kannada film coming from smallest of the industry, which I never believed, but how people used to talk. My people always told me, when as a student, I have sensed it when people are talking about our industry in a way, saying, okay, you're in outsiders, especially when they have debate with other industries, they will come up with such debate. So they used to feel bad because Bangalore is like, Karnataka is advanced in many things, be it fashion, be it IT, or our lot of in business everywhere. It's a startup hub. So we are proud of so many things. Of course, we were proud of our industry too. Today, a lot of people come, I have seen a lot of people telling about, no, it was already great. Of course it was great. It's almost like talking, we had a greatest civilization. But the fact is, we should keep updating it. It's not about being great once. It should, now if this is our generation, we should fight and put it there. We should give our best. We should dedicate for the people, for the audience, at least for their expectation, because cinema is an expression, but at the same time, you're trying to entertain people. I'm not trying to preach them, or I'm not trying to give them education or something where they have to follow me. It's about I'm making them happy. So the core of it is to give what they want, their aspiration, their belief system. So I'm here to serve. So when I'm serving, let me do that in best possible way where I can make them happy. So yes, today we are proud. It's not that I am saying my industry was bad. There are so many legends in our industry. All of them have really worked hard. I could have done 1%. It's not just about me. Whole of industry now, youngsters, directors who are coming in. People are like, with such confidence they are jumping. That's all it needed. And I think it's going to be a fantastic future, the way it is going. From every industry, everybody is dreaming big. And collectively, we'll be able to build a better Indian industry is what I feel.
Yes. I'm going to come back to this conversation about the industry. But first I have to ask you, when we did that interview for the Audible show, you had said to me that you and your wife met on the television scene, right? But you said that at that time you used to be very aloof because they would talk about food and you felt कि ये सब waste of time है. You had one vision कि where I want to reach, and you would write concepts in a notebook instead of sort of hanging, gossiping, talking about food. This tunnel vision, Yash, where you are just वो अर्जुन की आँख बोलते हैं ना, this tunnel vision has always been there, or did you develop it?
No, I was a very careless and irresponsible boy in college. And if I look back, I think I was really confused. I was a raw energy. Wherever I went, I wanted to do something different. Even in class, college, or outside the college. I've done some crazy stuff. If I look back, what was I trying to do? I realized I was always trying to be that larger-than-life personality. So I've seen a different kind of life. I went through a lot of problems. In my college days, I was a star. I was a good dancer and I was kind of popular. So, so it gets to you, it gets to you. So I used to act as if everybody is watching me. All the girls are looking at me. And I'm like the most happening guy, and I have like great gang of boys, and our area was also like that, Padwarali. So we used to act as if nobody can take panga with us. All of that. Then life, it can give you so much of it hits you. You realize what is life, and then you see how people go away from you at that young age. When we had some financial issues at a very young age. So I saw life in a very brutal way. So I realized what is life, and I realized what is human psychology. It's all about you have to do something, and we can't blame them. They don't have time. They have their life, and they're expecting something out of every meeting or every interaction. Even friendships today, it's all about give and take. But there are certain elements. Being a human, you have to realize, I'm sorry to say this, but you have to be comfortable with you. You have friends, all of that is fine. I think you'll be a great friend if you're in love with yourself. That's what I believe. You
But
respect
be in love with yourself in a good way.
Good way.
Not vanity.
Not in a bad, self-obsessed way.
Right.
I'm saying you have self-respect. And I think you cannot, if you respect yourself, you should never do something which you don't like others to do. All these things are very realistic things. From generation, people talk about simple stuff, but it's real. So you will respect the other person, you will treat the other person, but don't depend on anybody. Don't wait for people to do things, and don't expect people to change. A lot of times what we did is, I always used to feel somebody can help me, somebody can help us. Why is this? We were close to them. Then I realized, no, it's not about them. They have their own problems to solve. You have to take responsibility, and you should. From then, I think I started focusing. I started exploring, and I was lucky enough to go to theatre. So in theatre, I got exposed to a lot of literature, and in general, life, theatre kills your ego. It starts from sweeping the floors, erecting the sets, all of that gave me a lot of, what do you say? It kept me grounded and gave me clarity about life. And then you evolve. The problem with life is, a lot of people say, oh, he has changed. You have to change. That's all like myth. People say, this guy has changed. I always believe whatever you do, the place where you have begun or where you have started, there you won't get that respect. Because they'll be thinking, this guy was like this roaming around here. In my area, I think they'll be telling, he was here, this guy, I've seen him like this. And then suddenly you go to college, he was my classmate, what, today is big stuff. They'll say. And then you go to theatre, I got him introduced to theatre. I've seen a lot of interviews these days, people keep telling some stories. I'm like, when did this happen? It's like he had not had food for 5 days, I saw him, then I gave him food. Once somebody even told I had not taken bath for 5 days. I'm like, that day I couldn't, I called him. I'm like, okay, people take credit, fine, I don't have to worry. Somebody sent me the clip and I called him, hey, when did I not take bath for 5 days? What is this? You say something else, no problem. You want to take credit, that's okay. But don't tell all this nonsense. I was always, about good
looking
dressing,
good.
Looking
yes,
good.
Yes.
Come on, man, why do you do this? And same place, same time, there will be a lot of people doing the same stuff. But what happens is, when somebody grows, they will start saying that, yes, we did this. So, overall, you should understand one thing in life. It's just about keep going, doing stuff what you love, and rest of the things will fall in place.
But Yash, this conviction that we spoke about earlier, the conviction that you have, right? You were saying, when you were making the transition from serials to films, you were saying no to stories that you didn't like. It wasn't some desperation that I must do a film. No, you didn't like the story, you said no. There were people who didn't work with you because you asked for a story and they said, "Apne aap ko kya samajhta hai? Serial wala." Right? Even at that point, you had absolute clarity that till the work talks to you, till the film appeals to you, you will not do it?
See, it's not about it has to appeal to me. You know what I've realized, why I'm in this profession. So I like challenges. I like something which gives me a real reason to get up in the morning, go do something, explore, and try something which everybody thinks it's impossible or they think this guy is crazy or mad. Mediocrity is something which is really, I've never worked for money. I really value money. I'm also a producer in KGF. It's not just actor. So I know what is the value of money. But money doesn't excite me. Money is a power or a fuel which you can use to go to a next destination. That's
it's a means to an end.
It's mean, and you can travel. Without money, nothing happens, so you all should respect money. But at that time, when people are trying to do a project just for the sake of doing it, or there is some, people get to know. The reality is, they will know why this guy is taking this film. Is it for the obligation that he likes this director or producer, or is it for the money? Is it like he's trying to encash his stardom? So the reason is important. I'm not here to make films and say I'm doing 20 films or 30 films. I might do, but it should keep me excited. And it's lot of things. Cinema is not easy.
Tell me, Ranbir Kapoor had once said to me that you have to fall in love with your director. Is that true for you when you just said that, you know, the team has to gel? Is that what you mean, that you have to fall in love?
I have to fall in love with their obsession. So even if I don't like the personality or certain traits in him, if he's really obsessed and he's working towards a project, and I'll fall in love with their passion. So if they are like the meanest, if he's the meanest guy, if his script is good and if he's doing what it takes to make a good film, and he's ready to die making that process, bringing that film onto life, then I'll fall in love. But I don't know, I'm a very detached person. It's not about people. It's about their mindset. That's why few people are relevant today. When their obsession is there towards their profession and their passion is there, they're very relevant. The moment they lose it, they could be the greatest, but they won't be relevant, because it is that quality in them at that particular time which I will like, which I will fall in love with. After that, if that is not there, I may like the person, I may spend time with them, I may share personal things or be friends with them, but I won't be able to work. For me, I respect everybody, but at the same time, I respect those who respect this profession and respect audience and respect everybody's time and money. It's pretty much, it's like that.
You know, Yash, Marlon Brando had once said that too much success can ruin you as much as too much failure. Now, I think this is especially true of the Indian superstar, male, because you get trapped in a persona. Now, you talked about starting in theatre, sweeping floors. You know, you've played everything, you've done everything. At this point, how do you not get trapped by the myth of Yash?
To begin with, don't expose myself too much.
Don't give too many interviews.
Which I think I'm doing. And second, don't just keep talking about your past. The KGF is done. I generally don't talk about past, because that is something which I dreamt during 2014. And after that, it was just execution. So once you have a vision, and then you bring in right kind of people who believe in that vision, or who are capable of doing it. Whether they believe in the initial days or not is not relevant. But then if they are capable enough to take you there. And then once you achieve, this whole process is like during the pre-production or planning, it's done. Then it's fighting against the nature or other things. So you're not basically creating anything in that process. You've already created something in your head and you're trying to execute that. But after that, what am I doing? I'm not stuck with KGF, no. I'll be thinking something in my, about how to take it forward. All of that is there. There are so many things, so many ideas. So a lot of people tell me that, what are you doing? This is the moment. You have to sign films, take. I've never done that in my life. I've never done that. Initially, yes, of course, I had to be practical also, smart also. If I don't have commercial success and if I stay, no, I'll wait for the right thing, it will never happen. So I did certain projects, keeping certain angles in mind. Some films I did for North Karnataka, keeping regions in mind and keeping certain directors in mind or producers in mind, all of that. It's design. You have to choose. Once you surpass all of that, genuinely you have to maintain the dignity as an actor. And stardom, yes, I work for my stardom. I never say it's a bad thing. I want that mystery and all those things to be there because that is my job. I have to, because there are doctors, there are engineers. What is their professional trait? They have to treat you well. They have to have that knowledge. What is my professional trait? I have to create dreams, or it should look like I have to take them to another world. So that's my job. And then I don't believe in trying to say that, no, I'm normal, simple. You be yourself. And also you have to, it's aspiration and inspiration. They should, that should be a blend, is what I believe. They should aspire to be you. At the same time, they should be inspired. It's not just about what clothes you wear. It's about what made you wear those clothes or buy those clothes. So it's both.
But Yash, you think now you could do maybe a sort of a mid-budget film, something that's more intimate, something that's slice of life, or do you think the fans would be upset?
Slice of life and all, from the beginning, I don't believe
Doesn't
in,
interest you?
No, not because our film is successful. If you go back, I don't know, even in simple film, I used to try to be something larger than life. It's in me. Sometimes if I look back, I see myself doing unnecessary stuff in the movies. I wanted it very badly. So a lot of people ask me, saying, sir, how do you feel you become a star? I said, I was already a superstar. It just took time. It just took time for people to accept it. I said. So it all happens in your head. So the cinema also is an expression of what you believe. So I don't think much about, there are so many people who believe in that. I might watch their films. I might I may not be part of it, or I may produce those kind of films, or maybe appreciate or talk about it. But for me, I have a particular kind of cinemas which I look. I've grown up watching those kind of films. So I don't take that stress about how to take my image and all. I just want to make films which are crazy, mad, which gives you adrenaline rush for people, and then there are certain things where they take back also. And it's commercial, yet grounded, plus they relate to it, and also some things which they may want to be, or something which they don't want to be. It's a mixture of that. It's just roller coaster ride. I just want to take all my audience and fans on a roller coaster ride, and then they come back. It's not like we sit and chat. It's not that. My movie should be like a roller coaster ride. You come prepared, fasten your seatbelt.
That's fab.
Yeah.
I saw the interview you did for India Today Conclave with Rajdeep Sardesai, right? And there's this moment where he talks about Kantara. And he said, Rajdeep said, but that's not your film. And you interrupted him and said, no, that's my film too.
Of course.
I love that. I think that's the way everybody needs to be. It's not about rivalry, it's about camaraderie. Tell me about this.
No, I think that is something which I always wanted. One KGF will not change the industry. Why was KGF made on the first place? It's not just about us. I don't know for the rest of the people in my team, but for me it was about my industry. Because I always felt, we'll break all the myth, we'll go out there and fight. I believe in that. You go, you do it, and then what happens? Now I'm not even doing a film. Do you think that will be enough for our industry to flourish? No. There has to be. I'm the happiest when Kantara works. And Rishabh is a very deserving guy. I had seen his Sarkari. You should watch that film. It's a fantastic film. Today, if he releases that film, it will have a bigger reach. You know, that is all we need. That was a great film. There are so many such films. Lucia was a great film from our industry. And then Garuda Gramana, Vrushabhavana, I really loved that film. So there are so many films, so many actors, so many directors. In their own way, they have done great job in building this industry. But I will not run away from telling people that yes, KGF changed, because I don't want to be modest and all, because this is to inspire people. My credit, what else do I need? Whole of India, wherever you go, people show me love, and of course it's all because of my people. They have built me from scratch. And they have sent me to play this game. That's all. It's like you send somebody to Indian team. We play for country. But somewhere you'll be feeling, hey, this is our boy, he's gone there and he's doing that's how our people are treating. Yeah. But now, there was a time when Karnataka had 7 cricketers in Indian team. So I would like to see that happening for Indian industry. Every director from industry, every actor from my industry should be a pan-India star. And I will, I think I'm confident that that will happen. Because our industry has been used to working in a lot of limitation and difficulties. So we have that extra advantage now. With little support, with little budget and little marketing and push, our boys will go and conquer. So that's what is, that's what is happening. And in my experience, whatever an industry reaches, no, that potential, see, like Bahubali reached. Bahubali gave us that confidence. Let's not, see, we have to be very practical and respectable. Let's give credit to Bahubali. Let's give credit to Rajamouli, sir. He dreamt it. We didn't try to imitate. Simultaneously, we understood what they are trying to do. And we kind of designed it towards it, and it worked. Public liked it. People accepted it. Now what happens is, from that we have to accept the fact that, okay, he changed it. KGF did this. But what KGF made, according to me, watching Bahubali, everybody thought it's like with such big budgets only we can do. KGF was done with a very minimal budget. It broke, many of the myths in this part, and it worked well in the rest of the industry. Now Kantara, with even more smaller budget, has done pretty well. In Karnataka, it has done phenomenally well. Outside, it has done pretty well. So for me, that is a real achievement. That is a real change. We should stop hypocrisy, because a lot of people encourage hypocrisy when try to polarize, say, oh, our industry, this industry. No, it will never happen like that. We have to go forward. We should not get into the trap. We should respect every other person who is doing a great film, every other industry, and go compete. Just don't be jealous or just say we are good. No, we will go and compete and we'll change the whole thing. At least this generation, youngsters should understand what people are, how people are trying to fool you. Just respect those people who are trying to make a difference in life. They're working hard and they're trying to set an example where you all can go out and achieve. So that's the only thing I would expect from my fans, especially from Karnataka. I don't want them to put any other industry down, or I don't want them to say that, okay, we are bigger or smaller. We had that problem when everybody treated us like that. So we worked hard to get that respect. After that, we can't start ill-treating them. Yeah. We should respect everybody. Respect Bollywood. Forget this north and south. Don't do that. So they say never corner a cat or rat, they say, no? Some saying is there. It's like that. When somebody is cornered, no, it's not a good development when people start ridiculing Bollywood, saying they're nothing. It's just a phase, and they have really taught us so many things, and we all should respect. Let's forget all these things. Our aim should be towards the rest of the world. When do we stop this? When do we stop this? As a country, I think we have to go out and make films where what a population is here. We have to build infrastructure. We have to build theaters. We have to go out and present ourselves, in a way.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there is so much to do. This generation at least should stop fighting within ourselves, go out, compete with the rest of the world and say, India has arrived. I've been listening, developing country. Country won't change on its own. Few people has to take that responsibility, go out and try something crazy, and audience or public will support you. They'll know it. They will help you. Thank you.
You spoke with similar passion and enthusiasm in 2018 at an awards show. When you talked about
2014. 2014, yeah.
2014. So, you...
Oh, this one. This is...
There it is.
This is our Karnataka. Yeah.
So, you're saying that you are seeing a future where the Kannada film industry is going to be saluted because of the content that it's producing. You had this clarity back then?
As I told you, certain things, it's like it will be there. It's just that people's point of view has to change. Have you ever noticed, like, few people, as you become close to them, they start looking good? You would have felt, this person has got too much attitude, or whatever perception you would have built. But when you get to know them, suddenly you understand who this person is and you start liking. I think it's true with many of the professions. So you have set notions about so many things. My industry was always great. They were trying to do. It's just that we're not taking actions towards making people realize how great it is, and getting that equal opportunities and all of that. So I was just going on saying like a mad guy everywhere I went. I was talking because for me, I really wanted to put that thought process. Whenever in our TV, all the news channels everywhere, this used to start with such negative attitude. I used to hate it. Ours is the smallest market in the country. We can't compete with our limitations. They used to talk like this. I'm like, who said? You don't tell, because you couldn't see it, or you are not. A lot of people come here to become actors and directors. They don't. But then they believe this is what industry is. It's not like that. You have to go out and be confident. I think I was like one mad guy. What will I lose? I could see it. If I could see it, then what is there in talking? And I believe sometimes positive energy that universe will manifest. So you should keep talking about good things. It's okay if it doesn't happen. What is there? You're working towards it. If it happens, it's good. And I think whenever you see your goal clearly and you're working towards it, you won't miss it.
You also, Yash, said to me that I'm not afraid of failure because I've seen the worst. So failure is not part of my calculations that, oh, I might fail here, I might fail there. So what is it that scares you? What keeps you up at night?
It's all about, I've realized one thing. Once you set a goal, you become a slave to it. When I say slave, in a good sense. So you have no other choice. When things are not falling in place, when things are taking time. So I genuinely believe it's not about failure or success. It's about bringing right kind of people together. I believe in that. You should build a team. When you're building a team, or when you're building a set of people who believe in the same things, that is a process which keeps me awake in the night, where whether this person, whoever is coming into our team, is he the right guy, or is he in the same mindset, or is he just trying to get this opportunity. I don't like negative people who go behind your back and they talk. So I'm a very straightforward guy. I talk to them clearly and say, what the hell are you trying to do? Please go. You find a better place. This is a place where we treat it with utmost respect, and this is like God for all of us. So that is something which is important. So even now, a lot of people ask me like, why are you taking time? And people tell me, I think you should do KGF 3. That's the only thing. Now, are you going to take out your beard? How will people accept you? And these are the kind of questions which comes from my friends only. A lot of people ask me so many such questions like, what do you do now? It's like, now what can you do? I said, what do you think? This is the ultimate? Maybe for you. I'm not somebody who's going to say that, okay, I'm arrived and let me encash this thing, let me establish myself. No. I'm somebody who is not built for administration. I'm somebody who is built to conquer. So I will go out, I will do something which gives me excitement. It's okay if I die fighting, but I'm somebody who will be fighting. That's something which I believe.
How fabulous. Speaking of conquering, what is the next big world domination plan?
Remember once I told you audience will tell me what to do next. You asked me, what do you mean by audience or people will tell you? See, if you listen to them, you will know.
Hollywood?
They are thinking Hollywood. No, when I say it's not about Hollywood, it's about trying to achieve things which always looked like only they can do. Or again, same thing. It's not that as a country also we have so many such inhibitions. You know what? The best CG company in the world, or one of the best who are doing good, is an Indian. I met him, Namit. So he's got so many Oscars. So happy to see our people going and achieving those things and establishing. And like that, there are so many people there also who are working there, and they've understood that market, all of that. But now it's time to see what we can do as an industry. I think most of the people are looking towards that. And as we have India on our side, we can take that challenge, because the kind of budgets we can put, or the kind of support audience are giving. And some people even say it's not about budget, it's about content. Yes, true. But there are certain things. To achieve certain kind of film, you need that budget, or you need that. So we can take that kind of responsibility. We'll try. And there are so many people who might do that in our country. But I think we all should take inspiration from each other and keep trying. That's it.
But Yash, give us a little more, no? When will you announce?
No, I'm not saying my next film will be Hollywood or that. You just asked me what's next. For me, my vision is, let me go towards it, let me work towards content, let me work with people who are hungry and passionate. I don't want to work with people who are looking at my box office number and come and tell me that, okay, we'll do this film so we can... No, I want to work with people who say, you have done this. You can do this. Or can we try something else here? Or let us do this, something very exciting. That is where I'm looking at. I think I'm working on a couple of things. So there are a lot of rumors going around. I know every week I only see and say, am I working in this project? Fine. It's like I'm just enjoying all that. But the fact is, I've met a couple of people. Their vision is good. They have come up with good scripts. Or I've also spent time with a couple of people working on scripts. But somewhere, I think all of it starts with, are we aligned? Is the vision same? Because as an individual story, that might be good. May not work for what I want to achieve now, or where I want to go. And there are certain talented directors who I just worked with, but I don't think their exposure or what they are thinking right now is not the same thing. So we're just aligning, and I think I have been looking for it. I don't want to talk much because there is nothing left. After that, anybody won't be excited if I come out and tell, because they will have an idea. But I'm working. I'm not taking this success for granted. 24/7 from morning to night. I just think of cinema. I just think of our people. I always believed whenever they have given me success, it is not because what I have done, it is because of what they see in me, what they want me to do. So I know what they are expecting out of me. At least I'll try doing it. That's all I can say. It's something very nice, which I will enjoy. I don't know how they will feel it, but it's good. Things are going well, but it will take time. In my head, there is no time. For me, time is irrelevant. As far as I'm waking up early in the morning, hitting the gym, doing all my actor duties, plus 24/7, I'm brainstorming of doing, giving a better product, giving a good film for them. How can things go wrong? I don't, I'm not doing things which is irrelevant to my industry. I'm just trying to do what it takes to make a good film. So it should fall in place. It will. It looks like it is falling in place. That's all I can say.
Lovely. We hope soon. Soon.
Very soon. See, No. So the problem is, I know all of you are expecting on Jan 8th. That's my birthday. I really want to, but if it is half-baked, I don't think I will come out, because for me, it is not about me, it is not about my birthday, nothing. It's about the product, it's about the project. When it is right time, I will come out and tell. Please, I want you people to understand that I'm not irresponsible, I'm not having fun with the success. I'm really trying to get things right.
Okay, last question. How do you feel about 2022 being the year of Yash and you owning this year?
It's not year of Yash. No, it's not my year. It's an year of dreams. It's an year of Kannada cinema. It's a year of common man's cinema. So a lot of people who have just come with no background or no this thing are able to achieve certain things. So I think it's not about Yash, it's about team. Especially KGF is not just because of Yash. It's about the team, it's about my producers, it's about my director, it's about every technician who has worked. So it's everybody's dream. That's all I can say.
Lovely. Now you have to pick out chits from here, and a few lucky fans will get to ask you questions. You have to pick out. Just call out their names.
Vajrashri?
First of all, I feel so honored that I got lucky and my name was the first one. And so my question to you is, every story always leaves you with something. So how has your personality evolved over time with the characters you've played?
I think it leaves a certain amount of that character in you. Whenever you play a character, through the journey you try to understand how to explore, and you try to understand the psyche of the character. So you unknowingly adapt few things, and sometimes you get hooked on to bad things also. I was doing a film called Rajdhani, and I used to, it was like a first gangster film, I think. And in that film, every shot I used to take out the gun and say, hey, oh, and all of that. One day in traffic, I was like, hey! And then I realized, what am I doing? No, it's there. It's
but it leaves something.
Some impact, but as a personality, it may not change. See, it's just certain things. I can tell you, I tried lazy elegance in KGF. If you see my other films and KGF, it's about lazy elegance. He's effortless, and that's what we all discussed, and Prashanth particularly, we were discussing. So that lazy elegance is what came out. So I don't make an effort. I don't try to shift my eyeball like fast or head movement. It's all about like cold and the slow this thing. I think it made me lazy for a while because I was just sitting like this and all of that, working towards that character. Every day I used to sit like this, and then I never wanted to be active. Otherwise, before that, I think I felt I was little very person who used to jump and be very active. I intentionally cut so many such things, and that stays. But I think I've come out of it now.
You're back to active.
Back to being
Back to
active.
Please, pick another one.
McQueen.
Sir, from being an audience of your cinema, from the time we have seen you drastically grow as a film entrepreneur, as an artist, and generally your outlook towards cinema. There was a time before KGF where you were doing a set of films, and then you did KGF. What was the thought process before KGF that enabled you to grow in such a fast phase or create a vision in that scale?
I think it's a good question. It's not about KGF which changed my life. Before that, whatever I did, because by the time I did KGF, I was a very big star here. I had Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari also. Again, we broke those barriers, whatever limitations we had with our own industry, saying, there is Andhra, Karnataka, there they won't see Kannada films, and all of that things we, I think, targeted and broke. Everything in those situations, every action we took, and every director, like I have to thank Santosh Anandram for Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari, because I remember Prashanth jumping and dancing after Ramachari's release. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I got the budget. So it's also about, and for Ramachari, there was Googly, there was Rajamouli, there was so many films. Kirataka, so they are telling. So I think I have a very strange career. Generally, you are a overnight star or you're not. In my case, I had to really work hard to get there. And then KGF gave me how it is to be an overnight star, because rest of the places, beyond Karnataka, it is like overnight star. But here in Karnataka, it was not like that. Every step from zero to there, it's like step by step.
Yeah.
So I have to really thank every one of them, my producers, Jayana, my K. Manju sir, or everybody who has worked with me. If I start naming, because I've done 19 films, I think every technician, everybody who has worked with me, all my films, they have given me something, a step to go there. And KGF was like something which we could do confidently, saying, okay, we'll make the biggest film. Because we had everything, audience had given us everything, but we got great technicians. Prashanth was a visionary, and Vijay sir was somebody who also wanted. So it's all about what you make before that. In every time, people only look at the big success. Behind that is very important. Every step is important.
Two more lucky fans.
Akshata.
Big fan, sir, from
Thank
Mogina Manasu days.
Thank you.
So my question is, what do you think that can be done better to improve films in India and get more creators like yourself who are from all walks of life and not just from tier 1 or tier 2 part of the industry? So,
Too many things needs to be addressed. I think I've always been telling, if you see Bangalore, wherever I go in US or many of the countries, most of the software engineers are from Bangalore, and Hyderabad, maybe this part of the country where, especially Bangalore people, I meet them a lot. And they all became software engineers, or they went there because their parents pushed them. It's not that they had vision. And why did they do that? It's because there was a boom. They sensed it, saying, okay, we can go to, it's always about security, job security. 1 lakh salary if he's getting, it's good. Then he can have a peaceful life. Like that film industry is like, I feel today the way it is going, be it OTT or so much content we need, people are there to consume. Because when in lockdown I realized at a point you get bored, there is nothing more to watch. You have so many films, but you feel you need something else, you need more, and there are so many opportunities in television to writers. We need great writers. To do that, government has to take step. I feel because the kind of tax we got, I'm being very serious. I've spoken to government officials also, because the revenue we generate, if one person or one movie can do this, or one industry, if you're good, there's a potential, huge potential in this country, this population. They need entertainment. When we were thinking of KGF 2 release, when we're looking at the number of theatres, there are a lot of places in North India where we don't have much theatres, but the population is massive. They all consume in YouTube and all of that. So if it is a theatre, then if you can give them experience. I know there are so many other issues, real estate, the cost. We have to balance it somehow, and ecosystem, we have to build an ecosystem. Like, see why Bangalore is the startup hub. Because there is a great ecosystem. So you have to build ecosystem. Anybody can get access to those kind of knowledge, or get that proper, because at very young age, if you are interested and if you feel that is a respectable job and there is a career, there is a safety, you can become a writer, you can earn, you can become a cinematographer. All that gives you confidence, and then as a country we can think of this. We can take this opportunity very well, and we can capture this, because our brains, we know Indian brains, wherever we want, wherever there is money, we can go out and get it.
Yep.
So I think we all should do it. And I've spoken to our Chief Minister also a couple of times. He also has some plans. Let's see. Whenever I meet any big leader, I just tell them, if they start talking about industry, I say, sir, give us good studios. Give us good institutions. And I don't know, just create an atmosphere. Respect people who achieve. You should create that mahol. Then I think everything will change. See, when we got World Cup, cricket changed.
Yeah.
Success is important. Before success, I don't think anybody will like to associate. If a Indian football team goes and wins a World Cup, after that, everybody will be playing football in this country. So you need to first go out and do certain things, and then now we should encash this kind of momentum what we have got for our industry. How do we encash? Now again, let's not depend on few people to come on their own by looking at some international cinemas or learning on their own. There are so many hurdles. Before crossing that, most of the talents will give up. So if we can create that atmosphere and make it smooth, the process, I think industry has got huge potential. Thank you.
One last question, Yash.
Yashaswini.
I've been a fan since Moggina Manus. I've been seeing your graph, and Allinda Iltanka you've reached Agirodu, like how you sensed it. Like one day you will conquer. Even I had that, okay, this person is going to do something for sure, and nanu sense madide, like when I saw your movies, and today that's happened. And today's question is, like, you have come without any filmy background and you have reached this place. So what is your advice to the today's generation who's aspiring to become somewhere in the industry, whether off screen, on screen, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ what is that they have to work on, and how to sustain in the industry without any background? Like what you have been out of your journey, what is your experience?
Thank you so much for believing in me. I think most of the times it's because of their belief I've got that confidence initially. Because when I was in television, a lot of people used to come and tell, hey, I've been watching your serial and I was telling my son or my daughter, mostly ladies used to tell me, that this boy will be a hero one day. And why are you not working in films and all of that? And I used to feel happy at that time. And there are so many people who come up to me and tell me that one day we thought you will become something big. So there is an answer in that for your question. You don't have to be the best from the beginning, but you have to create an atmosphere where people see something in you and say, this guy can be somebody one day. So it starts with a small step. You know, nobody is perfect, but the path path you choose and the kind of actions you take, or your lifestyle to your behavior to, like they say, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. It's like, it's about, now they also say, show me your enemies, we'll tell you who you are. So in what level you are taking panga. Like that, I think it's also about your vision and what kind of people engage you or where you're associating yourself. These are the basic things. After that, I think you should really love your job. This is not a job where you say, okay, there is money, there is fame, let me try my hand here. It's not that. It's about you should really love, because there is a lot of psychological pressure here. There's a lot of humiliation. And because everybody thinks they are perfect and they are genius and they are creative people. So they have a perspective, everybody has a strong opinion, and then it's a competitive field. They judge you, and there is criticism. There is so much in this field. If you really love your profession, and every day whatever you're doing is keeping you happy and you're alive and you don't lose hope, it starts with that, and rest of the things won't matter. So you will keep going, keep doing. Meanwhile, somebody will come. But I think you should stick to basics. You should never forget why you came to this industry and who you are, truly who you are. Because you will see a lot of people doing a lot of things. A lot of people, when you see, they're doing some major PR activities, to the way they try to project, all of that will bother you. If you say nothing will bother you, it will be a lie. But deep down, I always believe, if you stick to basics, if you just keep doing your work with genuine effort and belief system, rest of the things will fall in place, should fall in place. Eventually, if you stick around, somewhere you will be successful, for sure.
Absolutely, and that's a lovely note to end this on. Yash, you have been amazing, but this audience has been amazing, so thank you.
They're always.
Thank you. I also have to thank our partners in crime, under 25, okay? They have the Under 25 Summit 2023 happening in March. I've been there. It's spectacular. I advise you to pick up the early bird pass. It's on the Insider. It's on the Under 25 Summit website. So please pick those up, and you need to just announce soon.
No, actually, before that, I think I have to really thank you.
Me?
Yes, for making an effort to come here. And, we all know, we have admired your work. We have been grown up watching your interviews. And today I feel really happy. These are the small things which makes a difference.
Thank you.
So that's why I wanted you to come here. And, we all should keep in touch.
Absolutely.
So
Indian cinema.
So now you are the busiest. Year ending, I think you are traveling everywhere.
Everywhere, and I can't tell you what a joy it is.
And you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Because whenever I saw your round table recently. What a panel.
Thank you.
Kamal sir, Rajamouli sir, and Lokesh too. And it's fantastic. That's how we could learn. That's how always we have learnt.
Thank you.